Some people don't know. Yeah. So how you been?
Don't forget the Zamzam water, man.
The Zamzam water, yes, and the miswaks.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what our friends for. Thank you so much. How you been, Medina?
Alhamdulillah.
How are things in Medina?
Things are good. I haven't figured out a way to.
Who is Allah? Maybe we'll even see somebody enter into Islam.
Excuse me, do you believe in God?
I believe in Allah.
One more time, everyone. Okay, good.
These are the ones that we're going to be mailing out. Ilaha. Illa. Allah.
And I bear witness that Muhammad.
That's right, we're right across the river from Palestine, as a matter of fact, here in Aqaba. The new moon, the Hilal, has been sighted for the month of Shawwal.
When the adhan is called, it doesn't matter where you are. You go and you make your salah, alhamdulillah.
Now, I think this is something that inshallah ta'ala will all be able to benefit from.
GuideUS TV is free. No ads, no spam, no big business. Just free.
Log in now and make your contribution today to support your favorite project at donatetoislam.com.
You're watching The Newsroom, Islam Newsroom. The news you want when you want it, from the Islamic perspective.
Now we have some websites, alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Who is Allah? Maybe we'll even see somebody enter into Islam.
Excuse me, do you believe in God?
Why do we call him Allah?
One more time, everyone. Okay, good.
These are the ones that we're going to be mailing out. Ilaha. Illa. Allah.
And I bear witness that Muhammad.
That's right, we're right across the river from Palestine, as a matter of fact, here in Aqaba. The new moon, the Hilal, has been sighted for the month of Shawwal.
When the adhan is called, it doesn't matter where you are. You go and you make your salah, alhamdulillah.
Now, I think this is something that inshallah ta'ala will all be able to benefit from.
GuideUS TV is free. No ads, no spam, no big business. Just free.
Log in now and make your contribution today to support your favorite project at donatetoislam.com.
You're watching The New... Right. And we're coming to you live all the way from our studios here in Southern California. MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We thank Allah for everything He gives us, and we thank Him for what He doesn't give us as well. And yeah, it doesn't really matter, does it? A lot of stuff that we worry about doesn't really matter. I like to think about that just for a minute. This is my thought for the day, you know, that we worry and worry about something, and we're just so concerned. We spend all of our time, a lot of our time anyway, just worrying about this thing that might happen, or several things that could happen. This could go this way, that could go that way. And at the end of the day, we look back and say, a lot of that didn't really matter, did it? And I was so worried about it that I made other choices that really messed me up. We have Richard Kiefer with us today. Let's ask him what he thinks about that. Salaam alaikum, Richard.
Wa alaikum salam, rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How's everything in California? Even
yeah.
Out surfing? Are you surfing? Are you a surfer?
On the web.
Can you hang 10 on the web?
Oh, I can hang all, yeah. These 10 right here, they just go to work on that web. Oh, yeah, I hang 10. I do my surfing, hanging 10. Yeah, I got that. All right.
All right, bro. Bro, hang 10, yeah.
Yeah. MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah. Allah is very, very good.
Yes,
and all the things He does give us, and the things we don't need, and the things that would harm us even though we're asking for them.
Yeah, that is the truth. A lot of times we ask Allah for things that ultimately would not be a benefit for us. I like to make some du'as or prayers like this, and I ask Allah, oh Allah, if it's good for me, then give me so and so, or if it's bad for me, don't give me that, or But sometimes I forget, and I keep thinking that I forget that Allah has the ultimate plan, and it's the best. And then I don't think about the ramifications or the circumstances that could be altered in a worse way, when I'm making all this dua. What do you think about that?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We want to have something, and we're driving down the street and say, "Oh, it's just around the corner. Allah, give it to me. It's just around the corner." And Allah's going, "You don't know what's around the corner, and we're going to have you keep going straight." So, best of planners, Allahu Akbar. He is greater than any of our plans.
Yeah, and also in the Quran we have a verse that I was trying to bring up and show everybody. And I don't know that I'll be able to do it, but if I can make it work, I want to show everybody. It's Surah Ra'd, which is chapter 13 of the Quran, and it is chapter 13, verse 11. If you have a Quran there, well, I can do it the old-fashioned way. I could actually pick up a Quran and open the book. What about that idea? That works.
Yeah, there we go. Sword drill.
Okay, let's see. 13, verse number 11. Yeah. Let me show everybody what I'm looking at. Okay, so you can see it. That's what I'm looking at. And it reads like this. Every person has guardian angels before him and behind him who watch him at God's command. God, Allah, does not change the condition of a people until the people change themselves.
Yeah.
But when God decrees a punishment for people, none can avoid it. And beside him, there is no protector. Wow.
Yeah. Yes,
What
guide us in the straight path. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we're both advanced in ages enough to know that,
I'm all grown up now.
Yeah. just, yeah, you just know that you've seen over the course of time situations that you thought were going to be awful, and it's like, oh, this doesn't happen, and you look back and go, no, it was good that it didn't happen, and there's great protection. And
here's something in the Quran. Yeah, the next couple verses, it continues talking about Allah, and it says here, it is He who shows you the lightning, inspiring fear in you and hope, and He gathers up the heavy clouds and the thunder. That's the Ra'd, lightning and thunder and all of that. It says the thunder glorifies Him, subhanallah, and His praise glorifies Him with His praise, and angels do so as well in total awe of Him. And He sends His thunderbolts to strike anyone He wants to. Yet they still dispute about Him who is inexplorable in His power, unlimited. Okay? Allah has no limit on His power. What about that one?
I'm coming from a different kind of a background. the God that I was knowing about, it just had some limitations. Just some things that he couldn't do. He's not very good at finding people in the Garden of Eden. He was walking through and goes, "Where are you guys?" And then he was asking them, "Have you eaten of the tree? Who told you were naked?" It's like, yeah. So we got to help God out.
Yeah, let's be fair. Those are rhetorical questions. Those are rhetorical because Allah asks rhetorical questions as well in the Quran. So let's be fair.
I know, but I'm coming from a background where they believe this. They read it literally, word for word, read literal translation.
Okay. Now, the difference between what Allah says and how people interpret it, that's fair. Because I remember when someone came to me and they said, "Oh, I found this new preacher. He's the best preacher in the whole world because he came up with something that I never heard before." I said, "Okay, what is it?" I had just accepted Islam 30 years ago. And I had just accepted Islam, and I was listening to this person talking about it, and said, "We went out to like a summer camp, a retreat, and when this preacher started in, the first thing he told us was that if you sin, God can't see you anymore." I said, "What?" "Yeah, because God, he only loves good things, righteous things, so if you sin, he can't see you anymore." You know what the problem with that one is?
Lots of them. Lots of problems with that one.
The big thing is you're saying things about Allah that's just absolutely not true. He can always see everything all the time, and there's nothing that gets by him. Even the smallest part of an atom, he is keeping up with all of the atoms. Imagine this now. When we think about atoms, how many atoms are in a pinhead? The head of a pin. Tons of atoms already in that. And he knows all about them. And how many pins are there in a box? And how many boxes on this planet full of pins, full of pinheads, and full of atoms? And then, wait a minute, hold on. Everything is made up of atoms. Wow. And Allah, he knows all about the atoms of everything. Now, wait a minute, hold on. There's more, because he also knows all the atoms of the earth itself and all of the atoms of the sun and the moon and the galaxy and the Milky Way, and the whole entire universe is made up of atoms, and he knows every single one of them all the time.
So we always had the story that when Jesus ﷺ was dying on the cross, God couldn't look on him because all the sin of the world was upon him, and so he wasn't allowed to look at him.
Wow.
I mean, that was a story we were just like, that's why when he cried out, "Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani," my God, why have you forsaken me? It was like, well, God's holy, and he can't look at sin.
I think
he couldn't look at that.
I think in the Aramaic that was pronounced Ilahi, Ilahi, lima sabachthani. Well, it looks like we've got a caller here from San Romain, California. Let's take that caller right now. Let's see what we got here. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
MashaAllah. Who is this?
Afnan Islam.
MashaAllah. And you called us today. Why did you have a question for us, or what?
I already participated in reading the Quran and reciting it. And I want to see the result and how well I did.
Oh, you did good, but let me explain for everybody. We are still waiting for the final judgment from the judges, and until they do it, I can't make up anything about it. So But we have our regular program that's now, because we don't do the recite on TV except when we have the contest, okay? But I'm glad you called, so that, yeah, you reminded me to mention this, because I like to start the program talking about this, but I'm glad you called me and remind me. So what we have a first place winner, but we don't know who it is yet. We have 10 that are in the next level, and then all the rest of them will receive prizes for everything that, whatever they uploaded, they will get a prize. If they uploaded a video of the Quran, they will get a prize. That's as far as I can go. And we're actually getting stuff ready right now. We're packing things up during the daytime and getting it ready to mail out, but we don't know who to mail it to. And I don't want to say, well, just send everything to everybody, but because that would eliminate the first prize winners, and I'm sure that they don't want to do that. So that's where we are. Okay? Hello?
Do you have the address and everything?
We have everybody's address. If you entered it, we got
Me
it.
and my brother participated, and inshallah.
Well, we'll
His
see.
name is Ray, and it's
Yeah, there's nothing I can do. I'm not the judge. You don't want me to judge the Quran recitation, because I did not memorize the entire Quran yet, and I am not authorized to do so. So even teaching the Quran, as far as memorizing or anything, so that's something that we have to trust to the scholars. But as soon as it's ready, we will tell you, okay?
Okay. Yalla, assalamu alaikum. Thank you.
Wa alaikum salam rahmatullahi barakatuh. Thank you. MashaAllah. Yeah, I'm glad they called and asked about that, because I forgot to mention it. And that's my bad. My bad.
That's exciting. We're waiting for the judges to make their decisions, and it'll be very, very exciting to hear the winners.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
Well,
That's some wonderful.
on that subject that we were just talking about, though, when we mentioned about the person, he was telling me, they said that the preacher that they had found said that God can't see you if you sin. And
Right.
I asked a question. Are you ready for my question?
Sure.
All right. I ask, so if you do a little bitty sin, like some small sin, do you think God can't see it? Nope, he can't see it, because that's a sin. I said, so somebody could, for instance, take a pencil that doesn't belong to them, and then as soon as they take that pencil, God can't see them. Yep. They said, yep, that's right. All right, I said, and then the guy could go out and kill people, rob banks, and do everything else, and then he would take that little pencil and come back and say, I'm going to give that pencil back. God can see me again. I took a pencil, sorry. Yeah, right. That doesn't make any sense at all.
I've never heard that one. I've heard the line from certain Armenian denominations that believe that once you sin, you break all relationship with God every time, and you got to start all over again every time you sin. But I never heard that God couldn't see.
You have a caller.
Yeah. Let's take another caller here and see what we got. Assalamu alaikum. Hello? 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 Okay. By the way, if you do call us, be sure that you talk to your phone and don't listen to the TV. You hold your phone like this and watch the TV, because then what's going to happen, by the time we've already hung up and gone on to the next caller, then you're like, oh, now it's my turn. Hello? And then you're going to find a dead phone, because what you're watching is 60 seconds later from what it actually started out, and maybe even longer today, because I've had, hey, looks like my internet is back up. Yeah, I like that. I like it. Let me see if I can find it now. Okay. No. No. Well, I still don't see it on here, but I know we had it. Ah, there it is. Anyway, talk to me.
Yeah, well, you were starting to say the pronunciation of Eloi, Eloi.
Eli,
It was something different.
Ilahi, Ilahi, lima sabaktani. Ilahi, Ilahi, lima sabaktani. That's the way that I was told that it's supposed to be pronounced. Yeah, and let me see if I can get you back up here. I don't know what happened. There it is. There we go. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So is there a different meaning with that? That sounds more almost Arabic?
Well, it is very similar to Arabic because it's Aramaic. Aramaic and Arabic are real close. Hebrew is also in there. The sounds, not the letters, look entirely different. I've seen Aramaic. There was an Aramaic church about 2 blocks from my house when we lived in Virginia, and there was a number of Hebrew books in my dad's library, and I could identify some of the letters. The Hebrew is, all the letters are disconnected. They're not connected together. But in Arabic, some letters connect and some of them don't connect from certain sides.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And
I'm working at learning those.
Yeah, and in Aramaic they're more rounded out, and they're none of them look exactly the same, but they have the same sounds. Like you have, for instance, in Hebrew you have lam, and you have that in Arabic, and it's mean the same thing. You have sin and sheen are there. Ta is there. So you have a lot of these that are shared back and forth, and some of the words are the same. For instance, beth, and bait, beth and bait, laham and laham. You know what laham is?
No.
It's meat. From when slaughtered meat, you know, like you go to the meat store or the meat department of a store, that's called laham. And beit laham in Arabic is beth laham in Hebrew. Have you ever heard of Beit laham?
Yeah, no.
Never heard. You never heard of Bethlehem, huh?
Oh, you tricked me. You tricked me.
I wasn't trying to trick you. I was trying to show you that the meaning of Bethlehem or Bethlehem means the place of slaughter, because that's where they used to slaughter the animals.
Yeah.
For you know, whenever you have religious gatherings, we come together and you want to serve all the poor people, so you have to have a lot of food to present to them. So one of the things they would do is to slaughter the animals and then give them out, whether it was chickens or turkeys or goats or sheep or cows.
Pigs.
No. Jews never eat pigs. And
no
also
BLT.
Muslims. Huh?
No BLT sandwiches?
Well, bacon made out of turkey.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would work.
Yeah, absolutely. So what was happening when, in theory, that when Jesus is saying, "Why have you forsaken me?" What are your thoughts about?
Well, okay.
Has he forsaken him, or is he not See, we have that whole thing of, well, we can look on sin.
Yeah, that one, I have my personal problem with it, because as a Christian, when I was still a Christian, I would read that and think that whoever's on the cross, it really is desperate at this stage, and being a victim almost of these people who were torturing him and ultimately killed him, and then drug his body away to a cave and dumped it in there, and it was so demeaning and everything, and it really bothered me. But they would reassure me that, okay, this is because, you know, Jesus has to take on the sin of the whole world, and he has to do it in a godly kind of a way. Now, immediately I'm thinking, well, he didn't do it in a godly way that I know of, because it looks like to me that, I don't know, if you play any video games at all, or if you play Dungeons and Dragons, the stronger you get, the closer you are to being a god or something like that, and not weak, and definitely not humble. Now, Jesus was humble, peace be upon him. He was concerned himself about the difficulties of people, but then they'll say, well, he healed people. He never said that I'm doing this of myself. He said that I don't do anything of myself, but by the one who sent me. And if you understood that, then that means he got sent there by God to do a job. And it looks like he did a pretty good job of it, right?
Yeah. Yes, yeah. And
So-
it's just always interesting. Go ahead.
No, but so the one on the cross is saying, Ilahi, Ilahi, which means, my God, lima sabachthani. Leish or lay or li, it means why. Leish. That's depending on what dialect of Aramaic or Arabic you're using. So when you say lima sabachthani, it means why. Really, why have you deserted me? Why did you just turn your back? Why did you desert me? And at that stage, I got to ask myself a bunch of questions. So from the beginning, Jesus wasn't in on this?
Right, yeah, exactly.
But then we go back in the Garden of Gethsemane.
Yep.
And now that would be Gethsemane, because the TH and the T sound are reversed between Hebrew and Arabic, okay? Like Bethlehem, okay. So anyway, you go back to the Garden of Gethsemane, and we find in all four Gospels here that Jesus is asking God. He's praying so much that the sweat is coming down like blood from him. That's what it says in the Bible.
Yeah, it says.
So I get that he's on the earth and he's asking God for something. A whole lot of things happen in my mind. So he's not talking to himself, obviously. And on the cross, he's not talking to himself. So he can't be God and he can't be Jesus at the same time. God and the Son and God the Spirit and God the... And it really started confusing me.
Yeah.
But when I come to Islam and they say, no. God is one. Jesus sent by God to give a message to the people. Just like John the Baptist. Just like Moses. Like Abraham. Like Muhammad. All of them sent by God to give the message to worship God. Don't worship me. Don't worship anybody else. Worship only God. That's it.
Yeah.
Now,
Absolutely.
that brings me to another situation, and I'll come back to this, but another situation is that in the Bible, that we find that Jesus is telling the people that on the day of judgment, he's going to tell them, I never knew you. And they'll say, oh, but you know, we were the ones, in your name we cast out demons. In your name we healed people. In your name we did these things, and so on. And he'll say, get behind me, I never knew you. And it'll even call them devils. So, that's surprising me. Depending on what translation of the Bible you have, you find that always, though, he's praying to God, and we believe that as Muslims, he absolutely would pray, and he didn't want people to pray to him. That makes sense. And then we also have that he's not even on the cross anyway.
No.
That he didn't die. But actually God accepted his prayers and pulled him up. So we have clearly in the Quran, it says they did not kill him, nor did they put him on the cross. So there's two things right there. They didn't kill him, they didn't put him on the cross, and he didn't die because God accepted his prayers.
Yeah.
You have a caller.
Hello? Hello? Assalamualaikum. Hello?
Hello? Oh, I got a question. I just want to ask. See, in Islam, can I curse my enemies?
Okay, do you have enemies?
No, I don't have enemies, but people that wronged me, can I curse them and pray for them to get a sin?
Yeah, okay, first of all, what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from London, and I don't want to say my name.
Oh, okay. But are you a Muslim?
Yeah.
Okay. So as far as Muslim is concerned, that's strange that you call me and ask me today. It's a beautiful thing because I just had this conversation about a few hours ago, and it was saying that we should never curse the people or actually hate the people, but we hate the evil that they do. And we like to let people know that what you did is a bad thing, but I pray for you to do better, and I ask them to, ask Allah to guide them. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Yeah, I remembered, I heard this when I was growing up. A lady said to us, never hate the people. Just hate the evil that they do. So that's, and she was Catholic, so I'm assuming that that's in the Catholic religion as well. We don't hate people, but we sure hate the evil that people do. Let's ask, we have a Baptist minister with us right now, so let's ask him. Let me put him on here. Salam alaikum, Richard. Yeah, Richard.
That's an easy one.
Yeah. Well,
Jesus said, "Love those that hate you."
Okay, go ahead.
No, I was saying Jesus said, "Love those who hate you."
Love those who hate you.
Love your enemies.
Yeah.
There was no stuttering or mixed up with that. He was. I mean, why would anyone want to curse anybody? I mean, but for the grace of God and for the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we all stand before him, humbly before asking for mercy, to reach out and to see somebody to be cursed. You can't. You're playing God.
Yeah.
You can't jump into God's shoes.
Yeah.
That's not our job.
He tells us in the Quran. He said, "Alaysa lahu bi'ahkamul hakimin." Isn't Allah the best of the judges? So, and we know He is. So, yeah, we're not allowed to do that. By the way, brother, I would like to remind you of something. You probably know this, but in Sahih Muslim, the collection of the authentic hadith in Imam Muslim's collection, he has a couple of hadith there that it's saying that the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever curses somebody to hell, whoever says somebody's going to hell, for sure one of them will. So, yeah, and I don't want to have to be praying every single day to remind Allah to please take care of this guy, make sure he goes to hell. Because if he doesn't, I do. I don't. That's a horrible combination there. So it's better to just pray for the person to be guided. What do you think? Hello, brother. You still there? I guess he hung up.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, absolutely. You're praying for those your enemies, or whatever, regardless of what they do.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! I know what they were trying to signal me too, because we got to put up a short break right here. Let me see, where is it? Yeah, here it is. Okay, stay tuned, stay guided with GuideUS TV. We'll be right back right after.
You're watching The Newsroom, Islam Newsroom. The news you want, when you want it, from the Islamic perspective.
Now we have some websites, alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Who is Allah?
Maybe we'll even see somebody enter into Islam.
Excuse me, do you believe in God?
Why do we call him Allah?
One more time, everyone. Okay, good.
These are the ones that we're going to be mailing out.
Ilaha. Illa. Allah.
And I bear witness. That Muhammad.
That's right, we're right across the river from Palestine, as a matter of fact, here in Aqaba. The new moon, the Hilal, has been sighted for the month of Shawwal.
When the adhan is called, it doesn't matter where you are. You go and you make your salah, alhamdulillah.
Now, I think this is something that inshallah ta'ala will all be able to benefit from.
GuideUS TV is free. No ads, no spam, no big business. Just free.
Log in now and make your contribution today to support your favorite project at donatetoislam.com.
And we are back. Now you know how to support GuideUS TV. Go to donatetoislam.com. Donate Islam or donatetoislam.com. Either one, the same website. So you can help us stay on the air. This is very important for you to get the rewards, because here's what happens. When you support the Dawah, Dawah is calling people to Islam. When you do that, you're supporting your family, you're supporting yourself, because Allah is the one who will reward you here and hereafter. So be sure that you don't miss your opportunity to do that. Okay, we're going to go back to our program in progress right now, so stay tuned. Assalamu alaikum, Richard.
Walaikum salam, walaikum salam. Yeah, I was just mentioning, the atheists look at that whole storyline of the great sacrifice that the Christians talk about, when he died for us and the great sacrifice. And they'll go, really, it wasn't that big of a sacrifice. A sacrifice is somebody who goes to war and they give their life. This whole scenario is they kind of do a funny thing with it, and it's kind of somewhat true in the sense that Jesus, if that story was true, it wasn't a great sacrifice. It was just a couple day hiccup, and then it's like, okay, I got to go through this real pain, but on Sunday I'm God again.
Yeah, there's another problem that come out of this thing about saying all of this on the cross, because if the one in Gethsemane who is praying and praying so much that their sweat is coming down like blood, and then if they're even waking Peter, I think it was Peter that he keep waking him up and telling him, come on, don't fall asleep, and now all of that, and then he gets drugged over to the Golgotha. By the way, I was surprised when I learned that Jesus didn't even carry the cross.
So it depends on what book you're looking at.
Oh, okay.
There's some places where he carried it, some places where he didn't.
Somebody else named Stephen?
Joseph of Arimathea.
Oh, now that's another name that I didn't know about. So now that it looks like we got different people carrying the cross.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. it's a conflict. There's some renditions that he carried, and other renditions that they got someone else to carry it for him.
Oh, mashallah. Well, you spent over 40 years as a Baptist minister, so I'm sure that you know better than me.
I don't know. I don't know. I just know I'm stepping back now as a Muslim, and I'm taking this long look at the forest because I was too close before. All I could see, I couldn't see the trees for the forest, as they say. And now you take a step back and you go, this really doesn't. God couldn't look at his sacrifice. God couldn't say, I just forgive you. I think anytime we put the word can't with the word Allah or God, it's blasphemous. What God can do anything. I was reading in the Quran it's a book called Al-Nur, which is like the 24th surah, and it says God creates whatever He will. God has power over everything. And then to say, well, God can't do something. God can't look. God can't forgive without blood. God can do whatever He wants.
I think that's yeah. For me, those things, when you start limiting God, then you start conflicting with what the Bible is saying. If you take the Bible out of context and you say that this is like that, but then you don't realize that you just conflicted something over here. And
Well, what's interesting is we used to have revival services around. Once a year we'd bring an itinerant preacher come into our town, and for about a week or two he would preach every night. And it was always a concept of God needs you. You must sacrifice. You got to give your life. You got to give your time. You got to give your money. God needs your money. God needs you. If God doesn't have you, the world is lost and going to hell. And I look back now, I was like, no, God doesn't need anything.
Yep, that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
What?
It's our privilege now to be Dawah, to share.
When we read, let me bring it up so people can see this for themselves. Then second from the last surah, Al-Ikhlas, in the Quran. Let's see if I can bring it up on here.
Nor is there to him any equivalent.
Yeah, let me see.
Arabic.
The reason I played each one 3 times is because that is a teaching website. You can actually teach yourself the Quran. Let me show you how that works. If anybody wants to go is the first line or the first verse, or if you would like to say it in Arabic, that's the ayah. All right? Yeah. And now, know the translation of it. What you mentioned earlier about the limits. Allah has no limits, and He is eternal and eternally sought after by all. He is a samad. You know, that when you say Allahu Samad, that then there is no other like Him. And that's what it says in the very, then it goes on to tell you He's not born.
Lam.
Lamb. Ahad. Now, check this out. There's over 6,600 verses in the Quran. 6,600 verses. 600 pages. So, what does this mean to us? That means there's a whole lot. But if a person reads this surah or this little chapter, and that was it really, the whole thing right there. But if they will read this, if a person recites this, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, it is though you have recited, you get the reward, you know. You get 1/3 of the Quran. This is equal to 1/3 of the Quran. Recite it 3 times, and what do you got? Recite it 3 times? Huh?
Yes. That's a staple in my daily salah. That's one of the first ones I memorized.
Yeah, because if you recite this, like in the morning, for instance, we're supposed to recite it right after the Fajr prayer. So we can recite that 3 times, and then the next one, and the next one 3 times. And this is a protection for you throughout the day. It's really good.
Sure.
And then if you recite the same 3 times, 3 of them 3 times, at night before you go to bed, this will protect you from those nightmares, bad dreams, and waking up and being worried. And it's really great to do that.
Yeah.
And now, but the thing that I want to emphasize when I come back to this again, MashaAllah. Imagine if you just recite that 3 times, it's like you recited the whole Quran. In reward anyway. So that's an amazing thing, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, that whole concept of the God who is everything and is most merciful, is greater than any. That is the stimulus and the concept for us to worship Him. And it's like He's worthy of our worship. And so it's not like, it's Salah time again. It's like, it's Salah time again. I get to worship the Creator.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I like to talk about is the translation of the words, because no matter how you translate or how great you are at your translation from Arabic to English, you're never really going to bring over all of it, because the Arabic is very powerful, especially in the Quran, So when a person is saying, well, I got a translation of the Quran, and I do encourage you, if you don't have one, to get one, so you can understand why people are saying what they're saying. But don't rely on it to be the do-all as far as giving you the meaning, because as well as I respect this translation, it is not the Quran, because it is not even in the Arabic language. So I encourage you to learn both. What's the translation? Yes, but also learn the Arabic so you'll know what is really happening and get the benefit. For instance, some people will say that, oh, look, at Islam is like this, it's like that, and go out here and kill these people and all that. And they take something way out of context, because in one verse, in chapter 2, let me see if I can pull it up for you. It's in chapter 2, verse 190. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Here it is. And I just realized that we ran out of time, so we got to wrap it up, guys. Oh my gosh, so sorry. Well, we went way over. So stay tuned, stay guided with GuideUS TV.
GuideUS TV.
You're watching The Newsroom, Islam Newsroom. The news you want when you want it, from the Islamic perspective.
Now we have some websites, alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Who is Allah?
Maybe we'll even see somebody enter into Islam.
Excuse me, do you believe in God?
Why do we call him Allah?
One more time, everyone. Okay, good.
These are the ones that we're going to be mailing out.
Ilaha. Illa. Allah.
And I bear witness. That Muhammad.
And that's right, we're right across the river from Palestine, as a matter of fact, here in Aqaba. The new moon, the Hilal, has been sighted for the month of Shawwal.
When the adhan is called, it doesn't matter where you are. You go and you make your salah, alhamdulillah.
Now, I think this is something that inshallah ta'ala we'll all be able to benefit from.
GuideUS TV is free. No ads, no spam, no big business. Just free.
Log in now and make your contribution today to support your favorite project at donatetoislam.com.